G'day viewers. Well, once again I've returned to this sort of semi-bushland area for some detecting. Lots of rubbish here, as you may have seen in my previous videos, but I usually end up finding 2 or 3 coins here anyhow. You just got to work your way through all the rubbish to get them. Anyhow, I've just started here this morning. I've got the Manticore with the M8 coil on here again, and I got a signal. It was in the 40s. Fairly deep, and I have a bit of clock collery. First decent find for this morning. Well, actually I've only just started, but I'll just carry on in an area that I haven't done before, or well, that I don't think I've done before anyhow, and let's see what we can find. Hopefully some good treasures. And I've walked only about 2 steps from where I found that old clock cog, and I got a good signal, and I dug it out, and now it's strange because I've covered all this area last time I was here, and I just caught a glimpse of it, and I reckon we have a coin. It looks like a halfpenny to me. Might even be Elizabeth one, I think. Yeah. Kangaroo halfpenny. Oh well, first pre-decimal coin, that's good. And I've only just started here this morning. And it's a beautiful cool morning too, but it's supposed to warm up later, so I'm out fairly early this morning. Now I got a signal here, it's in the 60s on the Manticore, and I'm looking down, there looks to be something on the surface there. What is that? Oh, it's a badge. You beauty. I like these badges. I might just give that a brush off and I'll get back to you. Yeah, I cleaned it off a bit. I still can't really read it properly. The first, is it? Fist? Oh, I don't know. I can't quite read that. Anyhow, I'll clean it up when I get home and I'll see that better. But I always like finding these badges, and the funny thing is that it was right on the surface, and I've been over this whole area already last time. So it just goes to show you, another day and you come at it from another angle and you just keep getting more good stuff. Got a pretty good signal here, and I reckon I might have another coin, but yeah, I think it's only a very bent up looking copper coin. 2-cent coin. Been well and truly bent. Okay, we will carry on. We will see what that is. Probably rubbish, I'd say, but you never know. Yeah, rubbish all right. Something else there? Oh, it's part of a pot handle, I think. There's more stuff down here. Very rubbishy around this area. There's another signal here. Hang on, look at that, what's that? Oh, 'tis a coin. Looks as though it's been burnt and mangled. Australia, kangaroo, yep. Probably a penny. I can see George the Sixth there. Well, I just expected that to be rubbish. There you go. Another coin. Got a good signal here, and I dug it. And can you see what I can see? I think we have ourselves another penny. It's an Elizabeth one, so it's one of the later ones. Late 50s or early 60s. 55, is it? Something like that. Oh well, we're getting a few coins. It's surprising because I've sort of been over some of this, but with a bit of careful detecting from a different direction than what you were last time, it's surprising what you can still find here. I had the feeling that this would be something big in this hole, and it certainly is. Don't know what that's a part of, some machinery or whatever, I guess. There you go. I've got a great signal at the bottom of this hole. I think it was iron, but I'm just looking at that object down there. What the hell's that? Looks unusual. Anyhow, I'll dig it out and I'll show you. Well, I've started to dig it out, and that's what I got, a frying pan. Oh, all sorts of stuff here. Doesn't explain what that is though. It's loose now. Might be able to get it out. What the hell's that? It's like some ceramic containers or something. It's interesting. Something a bit different. And I see a bottle down here, a jar. Yeah, nothing terribly special. There you go. I got a reasonable signal out of this hole, thinking it may be rubbish. Wasn't very convincing, but looking down there, I see something round. I think we might have another penny. Oh, you beauty. Yeah, I'll give it a bit of a brush off and I'll get back to you in a tick. And this is a Commonwealth penny. Not in the best of condition, and I can't really make out a date at the moment. That's when I take it home and clean it up, we might be able to see a date. Yeah, pretty poor condition, but first Commonwealth penny for today. We will carry on. The sun's starting to come out now, the clouds are breaking up. And the clockery continues onwards. Always find lots of bits and pieces of clocks. And here's another one. Any other kookaburras are laughing at me. I'm glad I give them some amusement. And often I get signals like this. Sort of high signals, but the sound's a bit squelchy and doesn't look real good on centre line. Anyhow, I'll dig it, because it could be something good. Out of this hole came a little Beck's jar with a metal lid on it. Beck's is better. Now, here's something that gave me a good signal, and I've just spotted it, and it's a little broochy type thing. It's very lightweight, so it'd only be aluminium, so nothing old, but yeah, cool find nevertheless. And here is a little key of some sort. Not really sure. Is it a clock key or is it something else? Not sure. Out of this hole I got a great signal. And it's just in here somewhere. Whether it's something good or not, we don't know. Huh. Well, that might be another signal, I think. Well, we'll see what that one is anyhow. Signals on signals here. Oh yeah, look at that. Rubbish. Well, my original signal's still in that hole. By the depth gauge, it's very deep, so I'll dig it out a bit more and see if we can find something good. I think I'll dig it out and I'll get back to you when I find out what it is. Well, right down the bottom of that hole, about pinpoint and a half depth, there's an old solo can. You wouldn't believe it, would you? And on top of that was remainders of a shoe and part of a broken beer bottle. Alright, let's carry on. I haven't shown you, but I've found heaps and heaps of these this morning. They give such a good signal, you just don't know if they're a coin or just rubbish. These old screw caps, they've got a lot to answer for. Alright, well, we'll carry on. I dug a signal here in the 50s, and here we have a key. And I'm even getting the dreaded tarp rings here. I just spotted down here. Looks like the ants are having good feast of that worm. They've gone berserk. He must taste pretty good. Alright, I'm carrying on. I haven't found any coins for a fair while now. It's getting a bit quieter, the signals out here, as I'm moving along. But anyhow, we'll just persevere onwards. Well, it's been a long time since I found a coin. Sort of getting right out of the good area, but yeah, here's a coin. We have a 1 cent coin. Oh, we had to find at least one of those here today. And out of this hole, a great signal. And yeah, it's one of these double-sided spoons with the holes in them. Is that for tea bags, is it? I don't know really. I've seen them before, but I've never actually seen them in use. So I'm not really sure what they are, but that's my guess. You put your tea leaves perhaps in there and in your cup of water and you've got a cup of tea. Well, that's my guess anyhow. Interesting. Nice relic. And oh yes, the harmonica reed plate. Always find one of these somewhere on these sites. And it's no wonder I got such a good signal out of this hole. A great big old tap or part thereof. Huge piece of brass. Just in this area I've been getting a lot of those dreaded fish tins. Those things. They give a great signal. But anyhow, something a bit different here. I got a tag with a number stamped in it. So what that was from, I don't know. 127 by the looks of it. Yeah. Anyhow, it's time's getting on, so I'll just poke around here for a while and that'll do. But here I got a very iffy signal, and I have dug up the king. This might have been the end of an old kid's ring or something, not really sure. That's my guess anyhow. Oh well, something a bit different. I've just dug this top of an old lamp. Still got the wick advancer knob there. Okay. And here is part of a cap gun. Looks like jerk, so it could be Lone Ranger or something like that. It's part of it. Usually only find parts of these. Oh well, I'm slowly heading back to the ute now. It's about that time. It's starting to warm up a fair bit out here now. All the clouds gone and bright sunshine. Yeah, this morning's hunt, I started off really well. I got a few coins and that near the beginning of the hunt, but as I went on it sort of petered out a bit. But that's just how it goes. You get patches of good finds and then it sort of dwindles. But anyhow, I'll go home now and I'll clean up the finds that I did make, and I'll show them to you in the review. Okay, well I'll catch you then. Alright, now I'm on the way out, heading towards the ute, and I've just dug this. It seems to have a bit of a glass plastic type front, but it's got bits and pieces. It looks like an inside of a clock. Unusual sort of a clock. Perhaps there was a dial under there, but it's all just faded out, I guess. And now we'll move on to a review of today's finds. First off, here's the rubbish pile, and there's always lots and lots of that there. And here's some slightly better items that you've seen in the video already. Today's coins, 2 kangaroo pennies, one dated 1955 and the other one's too corroded to find a date on it, and the Commonwealth penny is dated 1917. There's a 1955 halfpenny and a very bent, burnt 2-cent coin and a 1-cent coin. Now onto the badge. It says the Fisk Radiolet with AWA in the centre. So this is obviously off some type of a radio. I'd never heard of that, so a bit of internet research was called for here. The Fisk Radiolet was a series of Bakelite radios that were produced from the early to the mid 1930s. They were made in Sydney by AWA. They were in the Art Nouveau or Art Deco style, and they weighed about 10 kilos. And to buy one of these costs about 4 or 5 times the average weekly wage at the time. So they were a very important item in the households of the day. I'm sure we've all seen black and white photos or movies of families huddled around their radio. It certainly was a giant leap up from just reading the newspaper anyhow. Now, because of the breakable nature of bakelite, very few of these survive intact, and they're a very highly sought after collector's item. And I was just looking at this photo in the centre at the front there. Now that looks a bit familiar. Ah, now I know what this is. The last target I dug today, or the last hole banger if you like. Unfortunately, when I pulled it out of my finds pouch, the glass had broken away, but that reveals the clock underneath. And today's most unusual non-metal item is this glazed bit of pottery ware. It's made in 3 sections all joined together, but there's a hole inside connecting all together. First of all, I thought it was for flower pots, but there's no drain hole, and I suppose it could have been used for anything. And turning it over, I can see the name K Broad 4K, so I reckon this was just a high school pottery project. So once again from that site I found a few coins and a few other items of interest amongst all the rubbish. Okay, well that's about all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you all again next time.